Welcome everybody to the Wednesday night live stream. I'm Christopher Dahl. Hey, welcome aboard. Thank you for joining. We got Iridium here. Thank you. Let me rearrange my setup here so I can see what's going on, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. There we go. Okay, cool. Hey, welcome back to the studio. I'm sorry I was out last week. It was a little let me make sure I get kind of where I need to be. There we go. Got a little I'm always doing new setups, so there we go. Let me know if you can hear me, can't hear me, any of the above. Kind of setting things up. How you doing, Iridium? I swear the box is on the way. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I'm a jerk. Hey, Rhonda, how you doing tonight? Welcome aboard. This is gonna be fun. And hey, we're in the studio. But yeah, let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm trying a new thing with the microphone here, and got my drawing table set up. So this is gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, let's kick off some music. I've got to probably work this. Yeah, let's just do this. Hey, there we go. Awesome. Da, 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 da. The little intro-y thing there that I just showed you is from an upcoming video on YouTube. And for those of you that are on Patreon, I did share a link to it. There we go. All right, here's music for the background. Let me know if it's bad. There we go. Awesome. Very cool. I'm gonna put that back on there. Sounds good. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, we're sorry, my chair on the wheels. It's a little tight in here. But hey, I got the camera loaded up. Let me just get it back here. It's doing some fun things. I've got it pretty solidly clamped above me, so that's gonna be kind of cool. Yeah. All right, but now I have to figure out how my chair rolls in here. So yeah, awesome. Okay, these have been shorter live streams, and my apologies for that. It's just kind of been the nature of how things have been going here. There has been a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. We got a couple of great projects going. Working with one of my favorite authors again, J. Fitzpatrick Molden. So if you're watching, greetings. There are sketches, they're just off camera, and I've got a nice, beautiful sunset painting I'm working on. So that's going to be kind of fun. In fact, actually, the canvas for it is right over here. It's going to be a good size one. We might be doing that as we go on future live streams here. But yeah, kind of. Where's my thing? There we go. There we go. Yeah. So about the live streams, I know I haven't been doing a lot of them lately, and it's been a little frustrating for me. But I love coming on and having a fun night. In terms of the output from the live streams, the paintings and things that I have, I've coming to the realization that I need to kind of change up what I do on the live streams, and it's a lot of it has to do with the time involved. Not that it's a lot of time here with you guys, and this is really cool. I'm going to continue doing live streams, but I don't think I could do them weekly because I'm introducing other things into the mix. So the other things are YouTube content, not just the live streams, of course, but the actual video content of projects and things that I'm working on. And if Andrew shows up tonight, I'm gonna have to apologize to him because I threatened to get everything set up for the podcast, and we haven't gotten there as yet. It's the nature of the beast. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that I keep saying there's cool stuff we're working on, so we're gonna go through some of that a little bit as we sit and play here tonight. It's gonna be fun. I love having the drawing table again. This is so cool. So I'm gonna kick off over to the view. Although I have a really cool setup, but I don't think I can actually. Let's see if we can turn it. It has a tendency to drift. So hang on here. Let me see if I can make one more adjustment. Okay. Okay. It's a little precariously balanced. It's solid, but just because of the things attaching to it, it wants to drift. But that's okay. I'm just gonna. We'll turn this. How's that sound? Okay. I might be shifting throughout the entire course of the night. We'll see. Anyway, yeah. So the holidays at the start of the year, we had a couple of road bumps in the in the business in the house here, so we're kind of scooting along. John Mark says, "Hello, greetings, and welcome aboard tonight. Thank you." But I wanted to call your attention. I know that we're into 2025, and some of you still haven't gotten your calendars from me. And I'm actually, the Space Art calendars are sold out, so those are gone. But we do still have Stephanie's lovely Dollhouse Baked Goods 2025 calendar. Oh, that camera's just gonna do its thing, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I just wanted to kind of show this one off because this one features the artwork that I created for Dollhouse Baked Goods. So our little character, and each month has, a very specific inspirational message. So that's really fun. So if you are interested, I'll share the link here in chat, and I'll have it in the description for those of you who are watching later. So yeah, it would be great if you think you could use another calendar or somebody could use one. It would be like super awesome, and thank you. In fact, the website itself is over on Dollhouse Actual. There we go. If you go to the link on there, you'll be taken to this, and it's been marked down to $12. So there we go. Yay! Also, and this of course is, I know all of you who are watching right now, you're the hardcore viewers, so you know all this stuff, and thank you to everybody that bought something from me over the course of the holiday, and I do appreciate it. It has helped us out a ton. Over the Space Art by Christopher Dahl store, which I'll also go ahead and link on here. I wanted to point out a couple of new things we've got going in here. If you go to the store, we've got a whole new line. I'm just going to go to the metal prints themselves. I've got a whole new line of metal prints of the book cover art I worked on for the Becky Chambers books, the Wayfarer series, over on HarperCollins US created. And there's a couple of different sizes of these here. So if you go down and pull all the way down to the 8 by 10, which I disbelieve that this is actually 8 by 10 unless this person is like tiny, all the way up to a full-size 16 by 20. But I've got that for multiple books. Since I worked on 3 books, although there is a 4th, this version of Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, I adjusted the background of this one for the U.S. release, and with the blue background, it kind of has a nice compelling piece. Also, for one of the favorites from the live stream, our Jump Gate 5, also offering in 3 different sizes. 8 by 10, 11 by 14, and then the giant 16 by 20. So yeah, I'll have links to that down in the description. And of course, finally, if you want to follow along on Patreon, go ahead and I've got the link over there to that. I have been doing things like showing off this stuff, which is a test. Because I mentioned that we had it's all live now. Since I mentioned that we had the Becky Chambers books in the store, I found my old Photoshop files. So with the handy new 2D animation features of Blender 3D, and through the power of DaVinci Resolve, I'm putting together a couple little fun bits here that, it's 2D stuff. It's cut and paste, but I think it's going to be pretty fun. So yeah, good times. So that's what's going on here. We're working on some fun videos, and we're going to be working on some other cool things to go along with it. So the live stream, I don't know. I'm probably going to take the public live streams, which these are, and we're going to probably go down to so if this is like 1 month, I'm gonna probably I'm probably going to peg a public live stream with a Patreon only live stream. And now that leaves basically, each month we got like 4 weeks, right? So 1, 2, 3, okay, 4. So basically I've got 2 more here that are open question marks. So I'm going to probably have to sort out what I'm going to do with these. But at the same time, I also want to be landing YouTube content every week related to the things that we're working on. So if this is like, basically one of those, and then all the associated social media BS right there. But between all of this and the project work that I'm taking on, the live streams take a lot out of me. So Stephanie's even noticed too that I do the live stream on Wednesday. There's kind of a setup build up to preparing for it. In spite of it being something I've kind of got nailed down, it does take me a little bit for that, and it's pretty draining, honestly. My Thursdays are pretty shot. So that's the reason why I haven't been doing quite as many of them. Like last week, I was too wrapped up in projects. So I'm very sorry. I do like hanging out though. So they're not going away, but I have to figure out how to fit them in well. And honestly, it's as sad as it comes down to it. It is we've got to pull in some income. And the live stream paintings, I love them and I love doing them, but I am literally surrounded with a lot of them. They're just not finding an audience, other than the fun that we're having doing them here, which is really cool, and I want to continue doing that. But I kind of need to focus, maybe maybe changing up what I live stream and how I do it, so that I can have some, maybe a little higher. I mean, I hate to say higher quality art, but that's the truth of the matter. I burn through. That's as much my fault as anything. I burn through them pretty quickly. So that's kind of what's going on. But fun isn't going to stop there, because not only are we continuing with the paintings, I thought we'd have a little fun tonight. A few other projects. So here we go. I brought you into this fun layout of the studio tonight with a couple of different things that I think are going to be kind of exciting. So let's take a look at one of them. I want to start with. Let's start with this one. So the model projects that I've been threatening to do. I just found some pieces for this one, which makes it really exciting for me. It's unpacking things, right? I'm constantly getting into boxes over here and finding things that are like, oh my god, I forgot about that. I forgot about this. I forgot about that. And my ADHD brain, I run and chase after things like a squirrel. Haha, it's great. Yeah. So, all right. Here's one I've wanted to do for a very long time. And let's roll right into it. So I'm going to give you an overview of what this project is, and you can tell me if you think this is going to be cool or not. All right, here we go. Ready? Okay, so way back in the day, as everyone knows, I'm kind of a Star Trek nerd. There's no getting around that. So one of the only ways that you could enjoy your favorite TV show back in the 70s, pre-internet days. So you would get these. Who's the author? James Blish. That's right. James Blish published a bunch of short stories that are basically the Star Trek television episodes, right? I forget which ones this has in it. Let's see. Look, reading on the back. In the name of the Federation Council and Starfleet Command, Spock and the Enterprise crew grapple with a silicone-based monster. So that's Devil in the Dark. An interplanetary spy. I think that's Assignment Earth. An amorous Amazon. Who would that be? Elon of Troyes. A misguided mobster boss. So that would be a piece of the action. And a time-jumping technician. Oh, time-jumping technician. Oh, alternative factors that episode, and then the mind-slaving elders of Talos 4. Well, they tell me right there in the menagerie. So all of those episodes are captured here in 133 pages. Yes, they're shortened quite a bit, but it's really fun. All right. So the reason I bring this up is this artwork. The artwork on the front cover of the books. Actually, I think I brought these out before, but I'm gonna bring a few more out just for fun, because I like sharing what's on my shelf. Hang on. All right. All right, here we go. All back on. Trying not to, not actually playing any of the music because we don't want any copyright infringement. Thank you. So here's a couple more. As you can see, this one was Star Trek 4. They cleverly named them by number. Yes. And then these are different artists. In the series, of course, there's Star Trek's 9 and 10. I never owned this one when I was younger, but a couple of my friends in school did, and I always liked this one because it showed the Enterprise shooting the Klingon battle cruiser. Yeah. Anyway, half my fascination with these books, aside from the fact that they came out when I was just learning to read, and these are perfect for that sort of thing. The cover art was like crazy. It looked nothing like we saw in the TV shows. And, it's one of my favorite parts of it. Everyone says, don't judge a book by its cover. I was looking at these like crazy. My favorite thing to do would be to bring these as my reading books into school because I could have something cool to look at. It was fun. All right. So, for whatever reason, this particular painting was used on this book and several others. This was printed by Bantam Books. They had an imprint that they owned for a bunch of children. So there was like a puzzle book. There were there were a few other things. My camera keeps it's the camera keeps moving. So yeah, there we go. Okay, taking notes here. Anyway, I would look beyond the text into this, this lovely book cover, and as you can see, some elements of this I've actually already used it. For those of you that watched my Excelsior painting way back before the move, I tried to emulate the background, planet, and color scheme with the Excelsior one, so that was pretty fun, and it always appealed to me because this had such a strange, weirdly lonely look. I don't know of any other way to describe it. They painted the Enterprise in these, blue tones. It's not an exact version of the Enterprise, right? I was always fascinated by that, but it was close enough, and it was in book form. So every time I'd see this thing over the course of a few years, it just always kind of stuck with me. In fact, this particular book is one I picked up later. It's not the one I actually grew up with, but I wanted it for the cover. The thing that I found, however, is very curious. I'm not going to tell you how many times I nearly threw this out because it's basically a bunch. It's a bunch of, what was this? Was this Scholastic? I think it was. I think Scholastic Book Company put this out. This is one of the offerings, I think, when you would order books from school. Yeah, Scholastic magazines. Right. Okay, cool. So, in fact, look at on the back of it right here. The let me unfold it gently. It's pretty delicate. All right. So yeah, look at that. So they had their version of the Star Trek puzzle manual, and it had a bigger shot of the artwork on it, right? That's kind of cool. Anyway, I think it's definitely a thrilling live stream tonight. Anyway, okay, so where I'm going with this, I will move this out of the way. Sorry, Star Trek 4. You're there. Let me flip this over. This is a very, I'm going to gently do this. Ha ha ho. This is a print. It even has the artist name, Lou Feck. This is a print of that artwork. Moving some things out of the way. There we go. Boop. By comparison to the book. All right. Now we can get into some business. I watched a Cosmos 1999 fan short movie, possibly about the Eagle. Was incredible. Oh, cool. Thank you. That's right, Cosmos 99. My cousins and my aunt and uncle in Rome. They watched it. It was Cosmos 99. Oh, Wes, you've got this poster too? Yay! They've survived. The posters have survived. Awesome. That is so cool. So I kind of wanted to talk about this painting of the Enterprise a little bit and why I'm so fascinated by it. First off, it's a little weird, right? It has it has a very unique shape to it. Oh, I'm going to have to do something to flatten this out. This is definitely going to be, I have to like scan it, photograph it, mount it. It's going to have to go on the wall. Absolutely. What's it say? Okay, copyright. I'm reading the copyright. It's in the bottom left down here. Where is it? Copyright 1978, Scholastic Magazine, all rights reserved. Cover from the Star Trek Puzzle Manual, a Bantam book distributed by blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. I had all those original James Blish covers. Oh, you had more of these? Oh, they made more of them? Ah! Okay, I'm going to have to... Once the cash starts rolling in again, I'm going to have to search for these on the old Evil Bay, because... I've got to get the up-close versions of these. Actually, I found for Star Trek 8, it's my it's my back. This was for the front cover to Star Trek 8, number 8, and I did find a huge version of this artwork that I could print. So I think some people have scanned them. Yeah, I loved all these covers. Oh, so you loved all those covers. Sorry, I'm reading a difference. Yeah, I loved them too, Wes. And the reason why I wanted to dive into this is because I could recognize a few things about this, making sure my pen cap isn't on. And there was just something off about how he painted the Enterprise in these. And when I looked at them closely, I don't have a photo of, well, actually, let me see if I can look it up. Let me do that real quick while I'm here. Da 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 da. Let me find. Let's see, hold on a second here. Star Trek. Long box. Images. I gotta find one that has a good shot of the long box. Yeah, there we go. Whose is this? That's not a great shot, but I can't believe I don't actually have this one. Okay, let's look at the photo. All right, folks, I'm trying not to be incredibly boring, but here we go. Yeah, okay. So in if you look at this one, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we can see it right here. This is the front cover of the AMT model kit, right? Now, all right, someone built up the model, painted it weird. They painted it black right along these nacelle caps, and then painted the nacelle caps gold. The front cover here, the front of the saucer's kind of, now we're looking at it kind of at an angle, so it's getting squished here. But, you know, by comparison, going over to the art view, you know, we're, I feel like we're kind of looking at the same what do you call it? We're kind of looking at basically a similar shot, right? So anyway, okay. So my theory was that this artist Lou Feck got himself a model of the Enterprise, built it quickly, and set it up, and basically painted it. Like this photo was his paint reference, right? I feel like this photo was kind of his color reference and details and stuff, but I'm guessing that he actually had his own model kit of this Enterprise, and he posed it, drew it from, maybe he shot a photo, I don't know. But this right here is why I'm thinking he built his own model kit, because he's got it NCC 1710, whereas on this one, I know I'm nerding out here. Oh my god, this is so dorky. Even on this photo, you can clearly see what the proper decal was. So, I always thought it resembled that photo. Me too. It's kind of weird. There's at least one other cover art that does this, Wes, that clearly used the photo from the box. I'll have to find it at a later date. So anyway, and if you look here on it very much looks like this is somebody that just threw the model together and he painted the actual lip, like, because the top section of these are they're tops and bottoms, right? Anyway, so that was my working theory, is that basically this is an AMT Enterprise model kit. And if you actually have seen one of these models, I mean, it's close to the Enterprise. It's not like, if you were going to really get down and dirty with the details, which I did because I was a nerd, it's not exactly. It's a good approximation of it. Yeah, I can look at this, and I'm like, this is clearly painted with the same patterns. I feel like this is definitely someone just had the kit. Anyway, enough of that. So, if this is the AMT kit, I'm thinking I want to build a diorama of this scene. I want to basically have this background, and let's pull the camera back just a little bit for a second. Where we approach the 3D part of it. I have, this is another thing that I have. This actually is an AMT model kit of the Enterprise. If I did something like that, yeah, there we go. Anyway, this is going to be silly. Now, this one is a heavily modified version. In fact, I don't want to set it on this, so I'm going to move this out of the way. But let's just kind of do that for now, so it's safe. Thank you. There we go. All right. So the things I have done, you can make it out. You can see where the split is. These are two pieces, a top and a bottom, right? So this actually is an older AMT model kit that I am in progress on, and it actually has a number of pieces that would make this more accurate than what we're seeing in the original. So yeah. Anyway, the things that stick out to me are like the shapes of this secondary, or the bridge of the Enterprise is this little round, the little tippy top side dome thing. So I do have this size, but this is pretty big. If I were to put this in if I were to put this model, set it up the way it is in the photo, in that poster, this would be a huge display. That would be ridiculous. It would be ridiculous anyway, right? Da-da-da-da. So, the cool thing is AMT Model Corporation, which was purchased by Round 2 Models a long time ago now, actually. They came out, they used the same pattern to do a much smaller version of the Enterprise. So I have this little guy. well, you know, lady, as the case would be. I have this one. Yeah, that's the constellation, right? Yeah, you know, Jay Klodek did an amazing constellation. I'm very tempted to see if I could put I need a constellation in here for some reason. But anyway, I think this size would really make for a really nice, you know, where did my book go? Where did I put yeah. I feel like, I mean, it's basically the size of the ship on the book, right? So, you know, it's kind of like one of these. So, so yeah, what I want to do is I want to do like a shadow box of this book cover. So it would basically be, you know, the basically you would be looking at here. I've got some pretty heavy shadows going on. I don't like that. Okay. So the theory of it would be, let's just do this for real. All right. So we build a box, right? Build a box. All right, let's get the aspect ratio pretty close. I'm going to get as close as I went too wide anyway. So what we want to do is that's too much. All right, cool. Building the box. Can you tell him how to practice? Jeez, it's terrible. All right. Ta-da. All right. So box, right? All right. I'll give it a little edge here treatment, right? All right. So I'm kind of thinking this will be like, you know, wood or something, or styrene, anything that will give me a nice, you know, some nice depth. This thing could be like, you know, maybe I can nicen it up a little bit. Tabletop will probably have a little wire coming out the back for, you know, any kind of lights if we have them. So there we go. Yeah. So then the plan would be to stick the Enterprise model in here. He really got the nacelles really long on this model. That's something I noticed for sure. Like too long. And then the saucers down. I really feel like this is a person that built a model kit and photographed it more than anything else. And probably built it about as well as everybody that ever built this model at the time. Oh, I can't even draw an Enterprise. How out of shape am I on this? Jesus. Okay, so we got our little Enterprise. It'll be kind of like, you know, stuck in here. I like having them suspended from behind. And then the background, we replicate what's, you know, this would be ... So then the background, we got a planet, you know, planet, right? Planet, ship, that sort of thing. And maybe inside here we can have some nice, we can do a nice lighting effect so the ship is lit in some way. And I don't know, maybe I can curve the background, so instead of it just being a box, I can actually extend the background a little bit, you know, do a nice slight curve. And in the front, there would be a sheet of... I should just do this, and this is the kind of stuff I want to do this project and film it and put it on my YouTube channel. And then the front would be a clear piece of acrylic with the laser etched... You know, let's see if I can figure out this crazy 4. Man, I tell ya, typography. Yay! Has the crazy thing on it. Yes, Star Trek. With the stuff on it. Cool. So if this is laser etched clear, I can actually stick that to the front. We can run LED lights from underneath it, so that all of this text would be effectively in front of it. So yeah. I don't know what I'm calling this one. My Lou Feck Star Trek 4 box. I don't know, model. So the cool thing about this, let me do a little one of it. If I'm really getting kind of having fun with it, if I can emulate if I can make it, you know, I can curve the outside edges, if you will, and get things like the Bantam book logo, you know, Star Trek 4, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I think this would be cool. Shadowbox book cover. Yeah, there. Hi, Tasty Whale. How's it going? Hey. So yeah, and given that, you know, this would be a relatively simple one, but there's like 12 or 13 of these books. I could do a whole series of Shadowbox Star Trek books. That would be pretty freaking cool if you ask me, especially if you do some clever lighting. I've got a 3D printer, so some of them have some pretty crazy backgrounds. I mean, these two in particular. I mean, look at this crazy. It's probably hard to see, but there's like some alien city down here, so that would be kind of fun. Yeah. There we go. Oh, I got to show you something else about the bigger Enterprise model too. Hang tight. I think the Feck Trek box exactly. I don't know how many of you have built these models, but I have gone to great lengths to accurize this one. The original kits have these crazy little round imprints in here. I don't even know. They were like divots, I guess. So those have been filled. I've scribed the 3 lines that occur on the bottom. The little dip, the Enterprise nipple, if you will. That's completely a resin kit. The body here, these old models would always split right across the middle because it's just thin plastic that came together, and the engines, these damn things were always like, you know, you get a kit. First off, every Star Trek Enterprise model that I had basically looked like this because the damn things would break off, and I was a boy, I was a kid, I was 8 playing with this thing. It's styrene. It's not supposed to take it. We cannot take it, Captain. So my intention for this kit, when I built this one up, the spine inside of this has probably almost as much styrene in it as what I built up a huge spine and boxed in these slots for the nacelles. Now they're not glued in, as you can see. They just sort of pressure fit right now, but you could basically hold this entire model. Let me do it this way. You could basically hold this model up by, well, like when these are glued in. Yeah. So there we go. That's a good time for an eventual thing near you. Let me see if I can reveal something else in this one. Oh, I still have it covered. I have a tiny Enterprise bridge in here that's painted, but I have it covered for painting. So yeah. Anyway, another time. We'll save that one for later. Hey, so welcome to Space Art by Christopher Dahl. We're doing the project review live stream tonight, and some project ideas, if you will. So, thank you for joining along. Be a little different on the content, but it's going to be fun. All right. What's next? A little water here. All right. We are going to go to... Oh, yeah, I forgot. This one will be quick because I don't have a project associated with this, but I also have my Ralph McQuarrie Star Wars poster that I did pull out a while ago before the move. And, you know, also a classic poster that I absolutely want to get properly restored, mounted, and all of the above, because holy crap, John freaking Berkey. Well, that was in with the Star Trek poster. I couldn't resist pulling that out. All right. Enough Star Trek. Let's take a trip to Arrakis, shall we? Boom. A little dust on this one. Hey, what do we have here, Chris? Well, funny you should ask. This is it's a sandworm. It's a sandworm painted in John Schorner's Schnorr. I never can pronounce the artist correctly. It's kind of a sandworm in his style, with the color scheme of Vincent DeFate's paintings for the paperback editions, which were these sort of siennas, oranges, yellows. It really had a particular color scheme that I wanted to capture. This is actually a very old painting. I think this is 2014 or 2013. I forget which. It's painted on masonite. I had a gessoed masonite panel that I used for this painting. And, you know, I don't, this is not, gosh, this isn't even varnished. But I could tell it was early because I never really went to the depth you should for painting on this. I love this painting for what it is. I was happy with it. I don't want to change it. I don't want to alter it. But I think it needs to be elevated on its own a little bit. And maybe the thing I can do is combine it, I think, with some of the other projects that I've had. So, in this particular case, slide this out of the way. And if you watched me during the model live stream, way before the move, I pulled this one out. But, yeah. Anyway, this one needs a little help. As you can see, it is bagged for the move, which was, you know, great. Don't worry, it was in a few pieces before. All right, let's see what we got here. Let us not do any further harm than we already have. Okay, well, it's pretty spindly. I knew all the landing gear was going to bust. That's not a big deal. Oh, yeah, I got a door. I've got a landing gear. I've got a landing gear. And, yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Well, all right, so what do we have here? This, I had every intention of emulating the what are they called? The ornithopter from the David Lynch Dune movie, the original Dune movie by David Lynch. This the ornithopters, of course, in David Lynch's Dune movie were very unique. They were designed by, I think, Ron Miller. And his wife Judith Miller worked on it too, which is really cool. They're awesome people. I would absolutely love to visit them at some point. But this is a little different. It's similar. I used to be in a hobby club, of people that built spaceship models and things like this, and it was held in a local hobby shop, Galaxy Hobby. That was pretty fun. And as a result, we used to do little contests, little group contests, if you will. One of them involved this crazy helicopter. I don't even recall the actual helicopter this was, but it was a lot. I forget the kind. It had, like, there's pieces off the back of it that I didn't use. I believe I ended up using most of this. In fact, it might actually have been an upside down. I might have flipped it. I can't recall. So it's gonna. I wish I could show you the inside. I'll have to take some photos later and post them. So I modified the helicopter body, gave it this kind of gold sandy paint scheme, and fabricated these legs. Unfortunately, this one really this one broke all the shit. So I'm gonna have to repair those. I think these things were rotors. Oh yeah. Oh, so okay, it was part of like an engine assembly. Maybe I got this out of a tank. I can't recall. I think it came with this kit. So yeah, it's basically a wheel and a gear. And then I think I did the same thing for the front. Although I'm noticing this is all brass, so I actually did some pretty serious brass for this, and then brass for this one right over here too. The thing looks so Flash Gordon. Oh yeah, doesn't it? It's kind of like got that. It's kind of got that Buster Crab era Flash Gordon thing going. It's fun. Now, the wings on the top, the crashed ornithopter. That's right. Good thinking, Tasty Whale. Good thinking. Crashed ornithopter. I might go with that. The biggest thing I did though was fabricate the top wing, and this is I patterned this off of the Dune ornithopter from the David Lynch movie because I actually had it was a paper cutout book, like of all the things they decided to market for the Dune movie. It was a bunch of activity books for kids, filled with the Baron Harkonnen's bloated face. It was a brilliant move on the marketing people's part. But they actually had one of them that had this shape pretty much drawn out exactly as the studio model was. So I went to town with some sheet styrene. I think this is like 3 pieces sandwiched with another couple and a piece out in front, and yeah, so there we go. So I got a crashed ornithopter. I like that. I'm feeling like if I were to do a thing with this, let me just bring this on down. There we go. We'll have our crashed ornith. Here we go. We'll just set the scene, shall we? There we go. Ba-dum-bum. Oh yeah, this is there was a little back door that popped off, so that clearly has to be addressed. I'm gonna do this and then pan the camera down. So there we go. So yeah, so you do your little crash scene. Maybe I pose it this way with the sandworm painting in the background. Do a nice display base with the dunes and everything, and we'll make this work. I mean, I even have a couple of painted characters in there, but I think this would be fun. I'll post on the Discord where I kind of started getting some of these ideas from as well. There's a YouTuber who goes by the name of Boyle Model Time. I don't know if any of you have seen his work. In fact, it's kind of funny. He started back in 2019 on YouTube only, and he does little dioramas, right? He models dioramas, lighting, and that sort of thing. In the 5 years that he was doing his YouTube channel and the 5 years that I was doing the live stream, he's accumulated 1 million views on YouTube. You guys are... I love y'all, but you ain't 1 million views. Hey, Mike says, yeah, I follow that channel. Cool. No, he's really great. I like that he's basically focused on one little project. Not little. They're remarkable projects. He's definitely skilled and has gotten better over the years. So anyway, in that category, I don't want to copy his videos entirely because he's got a cool shtick going for him, and I don't want to step on that. I will step in that direction, but with my glorious personality. I don't know how else to put it. Okay, well, I'm gonna commit this back to the bag so that I don't lose any of the pieces. This actually worked out pretty well. If you accept the fact that your models are going to receive some amount of damage during transit, Just bag them. And in fact, this one was broken before the move. It did not incur any additional breakage. Let's put it that way. So, yeah. You know, I packed things up and sent them on their way. Anyhow, so this painting I used to have in my store. I've taken it off sale. I'm going to repurpose this into a new background, and that's going to be a lot of fun. All right. So my crashed Dune Ornithopter. Hey, so I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this kind of like? Do you think this would be kind of fun to take on, or is it just going to be sort of silly? That's the stuff that keeps me up at night. But really, the live stream was kind of it was a shot in the dark for me. I just kind of wanted to see where it would go, right? And this is great. I've got all of you on here. This is fantastic. This idea reminds me so much of a diorama I want to do with a German 8-wheeled radio truck in the North African desert. Oh, that would be cool. That would be really cool. I think you should do it, Wes. Yeah. Use a sci-fi painting as a backdrop for a diorama. Love it. Thank you. I've done, like, I think I showed you a couple of weeks ago the little Leif Erikson mystery ship I've got on a stand. And then if you've seen my Space 1999 Eagle video that I just posted to YouTube, that one has, and thank you to everybody that has commented. It's awesome. In fact, I think the foosball table has to go in my big Eagle. That one, was that you, Tasty Whale? I think that was you that mentioned that. You know, the Space 1999 Eagle needs a foosball table. I love it. Combine the two great activities. I agree, Mike. I watch a bunch of model diorama stuff on YouTube. It's entertaining and inspiring. Big audience for it. I think so too. I think it's going to be fun. So I'm going to try it. See where it goes. You know, see if it fits with the feel of the thing. But yeah, I have a bigger Space 1999 Eagle that I desperately want to build. So the build videos are definitely gonna have to be in. I just wish I had. We need about another 8 hours in the day, people. I really wish someone would work on that problem. Anyway, the Space 1999 the Eagle has a compartment to it, so it's like this lab module, right? And it's big enough where you could build an interior. So I don't know. When I think it was Tasty. I think you're the one that mentioned the foosball table. I thought, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. So you open up the side of the Eagle, and you look inside, and maybe it's like foosball table with 70s era, 747 lounge paint scheme. Oh, I'm sorry, Rhonda. You got the flu, thus have no opinion? That's okay. Hey, I'm glad that you're here. I'm sorry you're feeling under the weather. That's not fun. Oh my gosh. That'll take a lot out of you. I've kind of been feeling under the gun too. Not necessarily sick like that, but that's part of the reason why I'm sort of kind of off my mojo a little bit with the live streams. Someone mentioned food. Okay, so it wasn't you. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, the person that mentioned it, I think, was from somebody that followed Smaestron over on Twitch for a while, which was just hilarious. So I think I'm just going to have to kick that in. As I'm going through and thinking of projects as dioramas, every time I look at one of these models, I'm like, oh my god, that would be cool. Oh no, you're sick there too? Oh my gosh, no! I'm so sorry. Hey, greetings from Oregon City, Oregon. How you doing, Mark? Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Hope Oregon's doing pretty good right now. I do miss the Pacific Northwest. I'm not gonna lie. We're having fun in the new location, but it's definitely, yeah, my heart's in the Pacific Northwest for sure. We're gonna make this work though. So welcome aboard. But yeah, so I'm going to be proceeding. I've actually shot video for video. You're not sick. Okay, good. Fantastic. All right, we have to check. We've met our sick quota. So if anybody else shows up sick, you gotta leave. I'm sorry. Isn't that terrible? Just got over a 2.5-week flu of near death. Oh, that's terrible. Oh my gosh. The one thing that's getting me is we have an older gas-fired furnace, and it's not very old, right? It's like maybe 10 years old. I haven't been in a house that was heated by gas heat in a long time, and I've forgotten how dry the air gets. It's crazy. So that's gotten me, scratchy throat kind of thing, and the cats are not having fun with it. But anyhow, so let's bring us back to the desk, shall we? For one of the last, this will be the last one I share tonight, but we're gonna have fun. I'm just deranged, but not sick. I am deranged. Hey, you're in good company. Look at this beautiful find, everybody. My damn camera. Oh, gosh. Gravity is not my friend with this camera. I got to work on this. Okay, cool. So this, what does it say? October of 1978. I love it. I remember getting this. Strangely enough, we had a drugstore in town when they called them drugstores. Everyone calls them like Walgreens, Rite Aid, CVS. But back in Grand Blanc, we had a small group of Harry drugstores, and they always had a great magazine rack. They had a good book section for being a drugstore. This is one of the places I would find things like Starlog magazines, and in this version, Star Quest Comics, featuring this really awesome cover art by Ken Kelly, who did tons of illustration work, just really cool artwork. And usually I would go to these drugstores. My brother and I would go with my mom, which, if you're watching, Mom, hey, hi. And I remember, I think either he got this one or I did, and then there was actually at that time there was a new magazine about the upcoming Alien movie, right? So we got both of those under the assumption that one kid gets a magazine, the other one should get one, right? Otherwise there's war. This is the way boys grow up, by the way, just in case you aren't sure. He got a magazine with space guys on it. I've got to get them too, huh? So we got our magazine. I actually think this is the one that he got. I think I got the Alien one and he got this one. So my mom acquiesced and bought us a couple of magazines. Little did she know. But either way, I ended up with both of them. It's one of the few times that I ended up walking off with something of my brother's. He was a little thief, little guy. I tell you, he has a bunch of my stuff. He's got all the D&D books too. Damn it. Oh no. These things laid around the house a little bit. Eventually, it's a magazine. It gets ignored, gets forgotten. I liked this one a lot. I'm so glad I kept this one because out of all of these, oh look, Warren Publishing proudly announces a super fantastic collection of extraordinary comic art. Future World Comics. Oh, how much? I wonder if they're still in business. Warren Publishing, let's see, 32nd Street, New York. Please rush me X copies of Future World Comics at $1.50 each plus 50 cents handling. All right. Do you think I should try to send this? Like cut this out and send it and drop in like $2 and see if they send me anything? That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? This particular magazine, I think Warren Presents, I believe these are the same people that did like Famous Monsters magazine and a few others. And they did a few sideline ones to sort of get into the heavy metal space, right? But in this particular one, they did a pretty damn good job, I gotta say. Ensign Duke, Raoul Duke here. Greetings, sir. How you doing? That looks familiar. Looks like the pose of the painting of Luke and Vader lightsaber fighting. Oh my god, you're right. Oh. Wes, I'm gonna have. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to go do some searching. Wes, I'll bet that's exactly what that is. Oh my god, that's funny. You know, photostat, flip it, boom, you've got your thing. Oh, that's funny. Oh, but it does look. It looks a lot like it. The weird thing is he's trying to draw these robots, but this guy's clearly like has no spacesuit on, right? He's just like out in space with this thing on and a thing off his back, and yet this guy, definitely a robot. I mean, this is like Micronauts territory right over here. You are at least a lieutenant, Raoul Duke. Oh, Gold Dragon's here. Hey, we got the whole crew back. Raoul Duke, was it you that recommended the foosball table and the eagle? I was trying to remember, and I didn't look it up. Yeah, but it's reversed, exactly. Oh, that's a... You know, I actually did... that reminds me, we're talking about the Ralph McQuarrie scene. I actually did find Koto Baikuya out of Japan did vinyl figures of that very Luke versus Darth Vader lightsaber fight from Ralph McQuarrie. And it honestly, they weren't made very well. The things were like breaking and like the pieces fell apart. And I tried to sell it once and never did. According to Wiki, Warren Publishing, defunct 1983. Yeah, that's what I thought, Mike. Thanks for checking on that. Yeah. Thanks, Goldie. Fastest promotion I ever received. Perfect. Looks like Ralph tunnel scene with both of them with a with both of them with a lightsaber. Exactly. That's the one. Yep, that's what we were thinking. So I think Warren Publishing, yeah, but so if they went out of business in 83, this was what, 5 years earlier in 78. Yeah, I don't think it did very well, unfortunately. But the cool thing about this, and okay, so here's what I'm going to do, folks. I know, dick move, right? I am going to completely scan this comic, and I'm going to post it for anybody that's on Patreon. If you join anytime in the next year, I'm going to put this up as a giant PDF so you can all read it. And you know what? To heck with them. Let them come after me. This particular one has... Like, I swear, every one of these stories, with the exception of Star Wars Revisited, because that's a silly one, we'll look at that. All of these stories, Last Light, Attack on the Hilton, Judas, and War. These stories and the artwork that went with them absolutely burrowed into my head. And I don't know why. They're actually really good short stories. So, but look at who the author or the artists are. Rich Corbin. Esteban Maroto, he was I can't even remember what he did. Sorry, Paul Neary and Raymond Torres, but Richard Corbin, Jesus, are you kidding me? Unfortunately, I do not recognize the individual writers, and I feel bad. So whoever's related to Steve Skeets, Roger McKenzie, Bud Lewis, forgive me, I should know your names because I think you've been working in this field long enough where I should know who you are, and honestly. I'll bet that, you know, it's RIP for everybody in here. Yeah. So anyway, I had every intention tonight of doing a fun reading of this, but unfortunately, there's a part here a little bit. Yeah, there's suggestive bits that I don't even want to get close to. This was 1978 after all. But look at this, the last light of the universe. This particular story is about the last outpost of mankind in space, and there's been a plague ravaging humanity on all planets and space stations. Without giving anything really away, it ends up being a play on The Mask of the Red Death. The Mask of the Red Death by Edgar Allan Poe. Which is really cool because of all things, this crazy comic, which, you know, black and white. Well, now it's kind of yellow and white because the pages have this newsprint level printing is turning yellow. This stuck in my head so much that I actually sought out the Edgar Allan Poe book in the school library I was going at, which of all places was a Catholic school library, the Great Holy Family Sanitarium and Abattoir. I thought this images, all the covers are Ralph McQuarrie. Oh, gotcha. I thought so. That image is on the cover of the Ralph McQuarrie Star Wars Portfolio art set. Yes, it is. And I did unearth my Ralph McQuarrie gigantic box set book of all of his artwork. I should bring that out onto a live stream. That thing was, I love that book so much. Oh my God. Books. There's 2 of them. Anyway. So, what was really... Oh, no, he's in the suggestive stuff. Oh, crap. I'm going to have to... Oh, no, there's more. Sorry. God. Oh, jeez. Okay. Anyway. Oh, and it's got this crazy epilogue that is just... it was weird. I'm going to scan this. I'll post this up for the to everyone so you can read this if you're on the Patreon. Sorry, I had to do this. Heck, if you ask really nicely, I might put it on Discord too. But at first, it'll be Patreon only. I haven't read the article yet on Star Wars Revisited. I love that they have an article called Star Wars Revisited. This was October 78. What, Star Wars came out a year ago, May before this? Yeah. And the only photos are the publicity photos from Star Wars. Like, there's nothing... No, it's a publicity photo. Yeah. Anyway, so here's another story, The Last Hero. This one's actually... It's short. It's still fun. I don't know of any. It ends up being a weird superhero story with these great. Look at this guy. This is like Burt Reynolds era. This guy could have been in Boston for all I know. The band Boston. Swanky would be the word. I kind of wish. I mean, the artwork on this is crazy. You had just graduated from high school. 1978. Hey, congratulations. If it was anything like my high school, I was an 85 graduate. If it was anything like my high school, everyone basically had Marlboro Reds stuck to their jackets. It was that kind of year. I will wager somebody somewhere probably has the original artwork for this. I just don't know where it would be. Anyway, my favorite thing. The masks. Look at this great Darth Vader mask and Chewbacca and the Stormtrooper and C-3PO. I do have that was a great summer. Oh, yeah, it was. Rhonda, you were in high school. I'll be guess. Let's see. Denim jacket, right? Okay, cool. Burn the VOD. You're right, burn the VOD. Too late. My favorite thing though was this the Super 8 films. I have this. I still own it. We played that so much. It's like what? 5 minutes. Oh yeah, I didn't have the sound one, but I had the color silent one. Excuse me. It has a couple of scenes. Yeah, very Zardoz. Oh yeah, exactly. Oh, leather, Rhonda. Ah, yeah, leather. All right, Rhonda. Very proud. Yeah, you'd cue this thing up into your projector, and it would show you of why they picked the scene where Luke and Obi-Wan are talking about Princess Leia's hologram and everything, which is incredibly boring to watch, silent with subtitles. And then it kicks into the Death Star escape, Millennium Falcon escapes, and they shoot TIE fighters with the Millennium Falcon's gun turrets. It was fun. We probably watched that thing so much, I'm sure I burned out the color on it. But yeah, had the poster, had the paperback, have that. The long playing records set. Well, guess what? Let's see. What does it say? Incredible soundtrack. Brought 2-record long playing stereo album with its pulse pounding music. Rockets into orbit permanently. This hottest selling album is guaranteed to go fast. I, of course, had this one because I even have the poster that came with it. Yay. if Che Guevara was in Boston. More than a feeling. All right. This is a weird-ass story. Richard Corbin was the artist in particular. I love his style. It's the unprovoked attack on a Hilton hotel. It's this weird Cold War Doctor Strangelove story that takes place in an orbital hotel, and basically everybody dies. Jean jacket plus leather over it. 1984. Good times. Yes, but how many of your friends had the Canadian tuxedo, which also made its appearance in Michigan quite a bit? Oh, everybody! Oh, I'm flipping through this. Look at what we have here. Can you see it? Can you see it? It's the Star Trek books. Oh my God. There we go. Boom. There's 4. There's 9. We've got 9. We've got 10. And in old days, cold days, a hoodie over it. Excellent. I begged my mom for the Battlestar Galactica jacket they were selling in the back of the Starlog magazine. I remember she looked at me and she said, "Think about how much you're getting teased already for liking space stuff. If you show up in school in that, what do you think's going to happen?" Man, these were expensive books, $1.98 a piece. So she was right. I'm glad I didn't do that. Here we go. Okay, the story could... Oh, Judas, that's right. This is a weird one about a human that is sent to meet aliens. And it's a very strange story. It's weirdly sad. I don't know. Yeah, everything in this edition, in this book, was all about war. Is that Einstein? It is. It's Einstein. Yes. There's the Einstein character is very much in this story. There's also an FDR, and yeah, it's nutty. It's a fun story. Used to have the silent black and white version. Oh, cool. Oh, but I gotta tell you, folks, I never had the bed sheets. I knew people that had the bed sheets and the sleeping bag and the toothbrush. I didn't have any of that. So yeah. Oh, and then the last one, war. I tried to draw the images from this one just because I liked it so much. It actually got me into drawing black and white pretty heavily, because I was watching how all of these scenes were being rendered with just these black shapes. And it was one of the first times I was going, okay, cool, I think I can pull this off. You said this haha, Canadian tuxedo, a lot. Yeah. Jean-Marc, I grew up about an hour away from Ontario, so we had a lot of Canadian pals. There's a cross-cultural exchange going on as I was growing up. Wes says I was lucky. I had great little bookstores with big sci-fi section where I could buy all the Blish books. They were like 50 cents each. Yeah, awesome. Merchandise. Yeah, merchandise. So this is a guy hunting an enemy in some kind of war zone, and they're lasers, and they have space stuff. I'm not going to give you the ending of this one, but yeah. Let's see what we got here. Oh, here we go. There we go. We got to the fun stuff. We could do the pen a lot Star Trek poster. Do I need this light up a little higher? Maybe I should try that. Yeah, see if we do that. Yeah. Okay. The Starship Enterprise model, this very model right here, we drove south to Canada. Yeah, that's right, Iridium. We did. We would drive south to Canada. Exactly. So, to order any of these items, see last page of this magazine for convenient rush order form. Okay, that is convenient. I'm at the last page of the magazine. Uh-oh. I see a problem here. Uh-oh. I think I ordered something out of here. I wish I could remember. Oh, well. But hey, looky here. We were just talking about the Ralph McQuarrie Darth Vader scene. I think it's pretty similar. I know, this is just a tiny thing on your screen. Forgive me. And I'm sitting here looking at it. I gotta get the camera. To fix the camera situation, it's gonna get a little lower. So I'll be able to get that closer. Here we go. Beat your brother or sister up with these inflatable Star Wars dildos that light up. Yay! I love the comic art. Every story has a different style. I know, right? I didn't personally own a lot of heavy metal magazines, but I did get a couple like this. And honestly, I feel like this particular one is pretty high quality. They were good stories for what they were. You know, remember, these are just short comics, right? Which is great. Oh my gosh, look, you could get all the Star Wars toys. Oh, the models. Oh, the Star Wars models. Okay, so had it. Never had a C-3PO. Have one of these that I'm ready to build, the TIE Fighter. Had a couple of R2-D2s, but I never had the model rockets. Did have the Land Speeder. It was the very first vehicle that they made for the toys. My brother Matt had the X-Wing fighter. Yeah. Look, we got the Close Encounters. I might actually have the Close Encounters magazine. I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. This is another Warren publication, UFO and Alien Comics. Woohoo! I loved ordering stuff out of magazines that months would come in, and then all of a sudden something would drop. That anticipation was like drugs. It totally was. There's a couple of photo sets out there that are in the same box these came from that I ordered either from like a television ad or this one. Oh, you built an R2-D2 Iridium? Cool. Yeah, I was always kind of bugged. They that model, yeah, they had blue sprues for this. They should have done the eyepiece in blue. That always bugged me. But I didn't paint many models when I was growing up. Man, Close Encounters was still big on this one. Holy smokes. Yeah. All right, what do we have here? Vampirella. All right, I'm doing a cursory look. I think we're okay here. Yeah, I don't think it's bad yet. Okay. Let me just peek up. Okay, there we go. And then, of course, back issues of Famous Monsters. Yes! You built the Darth TIE and the X-Wing. I did too. I built the Darth TIE Fighter. I got a reissue one I was working on. And I built the X-Wing because I remember I only painted like a couple of things on it. That was a tricky build. I feel like that X-Wing model, when I got mine, was about this era, 78, 79. And I was still a kid, but I built a lot of models at the time. And that one was tricky. The X-Wing fighter bugged me the most because it was so damn rickety. And I probably should have just glued the thing with the wings open. But I came back years later and rebuilt the same kit, kind of like I did with the Space 1999 Eagle. But it definitely takes more. R2-D2 on the last page. Where do we got there? Oh, R2-D2. There we go. Yep. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, the figure. This is the first set of... I love this. Already assembled. The stars have come out to play. 11 of the most exciting action figures from Star Wars have come in from space. Coming at you from Warren with their costumes, weapons, and movable bodies. Yeah. I am Luke Skywalker with my lightsaber. All these action figures would do like Elon Musk Nazi salutes, right? That's all they could really do. I'm sorry. I got so bugged. I liked this Death Squad commander because he didn't look... He was Star Wars, but you could play with this guy with your other vehicles and things, and he didn't like scream Star Wars. He had a cool outfit on, a cool helmet. My damn dog chewed up his head, little bastard. But no kung fu grip, exactly. It was just, the damn lightsabers would just like go up their arms, right? It was like, oh, there we go. Or Eagle Eye, that's right, Eagle Eye, the GI Joe, that was cool. Yeah, I had R2D2. My brother had a Stormtrooper. I never got Han Solo, weirdly enough. Had a Chewbacca. Weirdly enough, Princess Leia, that became the chase figure because she was the only chick. And every time you'd have like a brother or sister get, dragging their parents to the toy section, yeah, the boy would get anything, the girls would get Princess Leia, which makes sense, right? And so I never did. Early on, you never could see Princess Leia on any of these. It was really weird. But yeah, I never had an Obi-Wan. I think I had. No, I never had the Sand People, but all the rest of them I did. And what were they thinking when they designed that R2-D2? I have no idea. An earlier page had an advert for the robots of Star Wars. Must be before they had the droids usage. You're right. It totally is, right? The robots of Star Wars. I know, it was probably one of these, yeah. The story of Star Wars. Got that here. Bum-ba-dum. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the robots poster. There we go. We called him Chew Tobacco. Dog should have chewed the head off Chewbacca. You're right. That would have been appropriate. And it would have made him look better. Because, he was all plastic and everything, right? Alec Guinness, the first time he says Chewbacca's voice, he calls him Chewbecca, which is really weird, and it threw me off. Ooh, the Code of the Sith. This is great. They're speculating about what kind of powers could Darth Vader possibly have. And, of course, there's no mention whatsoever of Darth Vader even remotely possibly being Luke's father. So, old George can retcon his story all he wants to, but we all know he made shit up as he went. Well, he had notes. We get that. That's okay. I won't hold it against him. So, yes, that is Star Quest Comics. I've got about 100 of these. Star logs, these things. I have a bunch of them. When I've thought about, doing different live stream content, this is exactly the kind of thing I want to do, is just go through some of these and just have a chill night. So thank you for hanging out with me and exploring that, and some of our fun things like old Star Trek models, which, Star Trek always ends up in the mix. Yeah, go figure. Yeah, gosh. Even in this, amidst the midst of things like the Star Wars phenomenon and Close Encounters and all this other stuff, you would still always end up with some Star Trek garbage. God, those Star Wars ship toys are horrible. Look at how far out and small the TIE Fighter wings were. Oh, I know. I was just old enough to be really bugged by this. Like, honestly, I should have absolutely wanted this X-Wing fighter. Everything about it, I should have absolutely gone ape over this thing. But I took one look at this. I know what I saw in the movie. That was not it by a long shot. Same thing with this guy right here. Honestly, the land speeder, pretty good facsimile of the actual land speeder you saw in the movie. This thing is a Fisher-Price piece of shit for a 4-year-old. I'm sorry. I was glad my brother got it because at least I had a chance to play with the damn thing, even if he was just like, "Hey, get that thing back to me!" He's able to play with it. But, it didn't do it for me. It absolutely didn't. Neither did the TIE Fighter. I was that snooty about my spaceship design where I was annoyed by some of these. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Well, I think I'm going to... That's going to wrap it up for the evening here for my weirdly short live stream. I really want to thank you all for sticking around with me as I kind of shift things up. We're in a little transition with the live stream, and it kind of worries me. So it's a little, you know, it's a little anxiety provoking to change something up, but I think it's going to be for a good thing. I think we're going in a good direction, and anything I could do to increase the quality of the stuff that I'm painting or making, or the video, anything I could do to improve that is only going to help out the rest of it. So yeah, thank you. Have a great night, Jean-Marc. Thank you for showing up here. Whatever I decide to do, we'll follow. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, Wes says, yeah, the model kits were so much better. Yes, they were. The model kits were very much. That was where, by the time Star Wars had actually come out, I was full on into building models. I was building model rockets. I knew how to find diagrams of the Enterprise and other stuff, so I was already looking for that. So yeah, I'd already become a snoot. All right, everybody. Hope you all have a fantastic week. Thanks for joining again. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost anything, and hit the like button if you get a chance. I'm trying to get myself onto a weekly schedule of releasing new YouTube content. So if you're hopefully we'll be up on that very soon. I'm backlogging some videos into the pipeline so that it's not, oh, I got to edit a video. No, I've got 3 more I can go. So we'll get that going. Hey, Mike, thank you very much for checking in. I appreciate it. We will be back. I'm going to keep it open. I'm going to try to keep an open schedule. And once I nail it down, I'll post it everywhere so we have a more solid idea of what we can do. So, all right, everyone. I'm going to leave you with our outro. Cheers. Have a good week. Oh, that's the old outro. No, where's the outro?
All right, so I've taken my white paint with my little fan brush here, and let's just see how crazy this goes. This is where I throw paint everywhere. that just kind of gives it an air of legitimacy that it doesn't deserve. You know?
I have Bob Ross the shit out of this painting.